What's up, team? So in this video we're going to be having a look at Bitcoin and Solana, of course, Solana ecosystem, and can Solana make you rich by 2024 despite all the network restart whales and a whole ecosystem. Okay, we know that Solana has been having a lot of problems, so we're going to see if Solana can potentially make you rich and how many Solanas you need. But first we're going to start off with Bitcoin. Okay, starting off with Bitcoin USDT. We know Bitcoin's king, there's no question. So before we do that, let's dive in. Real quick update, 1 minute. We know that the trend is your friend on Bitcoin, guys. There's no question. Bitcoin currently traded at 20,599, but we do have a bearish divergence. Okay, so as you guys can see right here, we have a higher high and a higher low. Okay, right here on the RSI it is increasing, and on the charts it's decreasing. So what are we gonna see? This is currently a bearish divergence. It's usually a bad pattern. Can we see Bitcoin essentially come back and break down this trend and maybe retest 16,000? Very, very possible. I think this can definitely happen. We know that this right here is bearish, guys. We know that a bearish divergence usually come back down. And of course the trend, if we manage to break this trend, we're most likely going to come back and retest 16,000. The reason why we had a bounce, well, we were oversold right here. And if we go back on the weekly time frame, on the daily time frame, we were also oversold. So a bounce was imminent. So that's that for Bitcoin. Nothing too crazy. We know Bitcoin's king, but let's have a look at Solana. Solana, with a market cap of $12 billion, currently traded at 35. Can this 28x to $1,000? How much money do you need to put in? How much do you need to invest? How many Solanas do you need? Okay, so first of all, Solana is currently ranked 9th. We got a market cap 12 billion. Volume to market cap is pretty high, so people are interested. Now, we know that a lot of problems have been happening with the Solana ecosystem. I'm not a financial advisor. If you guys want to go ahead and understand why, feel free to go on my Twitter. In the link in the description, I tweet about Solana a lot. I have a lot of Solana NFTs. I do hold a little bit of Solana, but I'm not so big, and the reason why it is proof of stake. I'm not a big fan of proof of stake. Okay, we know what happened with Celsius. We know what happened with Luna. We know what happened with a lot of these proof of stake coins, essentially. So that's why I'm not the best and most favorite on Solana. But we're gonna have to see. Let's have a look at TA analysis real quick. Then we're gonna do some math on how many Solanas you need exactly to essentially be wealthy. But let's have a look right here on the daily time frame. Okay, so we did have a nice little double bottom right here, as you guys can see. Nothing too crazy, and we had a reversal. Why? We needed to see a reversal. We did also have a bullish divergence right here, as you guys can see. We had a lower low right here, and as you guys can see right here, we had a lower high or higher low. A little bit confused, but anyways, we have a decrease on the charts, increase on the RSI right here on the daily time frame, which resulted in this move right here, as you guys can see. So nice little rebound right here. The thing is are we gonna break this trend? Are we gonna essentially break above the daily time frame trend that we were? So we know that the daily candle is not done yet. We have 9 hours and 43 minutes left. So yes, we are a little bit above it, but guess what? We can still get rejected. Okay, we are in a new weekly candle as well. So the new weekly candle started. The question is, are we going to break above this level, or are we going to stay below it? Now, the thing is we did break on the RSI right here. We were trending below 39.85 for quite some time, and we essentially did break above, so we had a nice little breakout. If we go on the 4-hour time frame right here, we are entering oversold, overbought territory right here. So not yet. As we know that anything above 70 is overbought, anything below 30 is oversold. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this plays out. Let me clean this chart a little bit. Let me clean it. And that's about it. Having a look at some of the moving averages right here, we can also come back to the 200 moving average and retest that on the daily time frame. We're going to have to see if we get a rejection or if we could potentially break above. Look how many rejections we got on the 4-hour. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we have 7 rejections on this trend line. So it's going to be very interesting if we can actually break above it and retest it, come back and then come back up, or essentially come back down and come and stay below. Now we know that Solana is still in a bear market. There's no question, guys. Bitcoin is still in a bear market. Bitcoin's down. We have a recession starting on July 1st, but we have 15 to 18 months to essentially accumulate. So how many Solanas do you need exactly to accumulate and become wealthy? So let's give a few scenarios. First of all, for Solana to become and go to essentially first of all, let's have a look at the weekly time frame. But for Solana to essentially come back to $1,000, the market cap would have to be pretty high. It's approximately 28x from here, okay? Now, the reason why I want to start at the daily time frame, at the weekly time frame, is because we need to understand where Solana can potentially go in this bear market, because the lower Solana goes, right, the more opportunity and the higher chance you have to essentially multiplying your money, right? So assuming you buy right here and you wait to 1,000, like I said, that would be 28x, 2,800%. Nothing too crazy to understand about that. But assuming we actually fall below, or you come back to $20, right, and we go all the way to $1,000, that's 50x, okay? So that's 50x. That's pretty big. And assuming we come back down to $3 and then we go all the way to $1,000, right? That's 26,000%, guys. That's 26,000. That's 260 times. That is crazy. Now, I'm not saying we're going to go back to these levels, but, and this is not really related, but I do want to come back to Ethereum and just remind you guys what happened exactly. Okay, so we saw Ethereum come down 95%. 94.35% back in 2018. Okay, everyone thought it was dead. Ethereum peaked at 1,455 exactly. We came back all the way to $80. Okay, all the way to $80, and then we flew back to $5,000, guys. That is insane. That is enormous. Can Solana do this? It's very, very possible. We know that first of all, Solana had a network upgrade. Okay, so like I said in the beginning of this video, if Solana manages to stay consistent, not restart its network all the time, and not be a little bit shaky and more decentralized, then we could see a massive, massive pump to $1,000 in 2024, guys. 2024, I'm not telling you guys right now, look at that. We did come to a quarter of $1,000. We peaked at $270. So I wouldn't be surprised if this happened. But assuming we come back down to like this area right here, how many Solanas do you need to become wealthy, okay? So let's have a look. $1,000, assuming you average it to $18, okay, for the next 18 months, okay? That's 55 Solanas, okay? So 55 Solana, 1,000 divided by 18, okay? That's 55 Solanas, right? Now, assuming you do that, that's your average, is $18 for the next 15 months, let's say, 833 Solanas, okay? If you do times 950, which is very, very doable, that's $700,000, almost $800,000. Okay, guys, we are $10,000 below 800K. That is enormous. So we're going to be here for a long time. We're going to be consolidating. We're going to be accumulating for some time. We're going to be maybe doing something like that. It's going to take some time. Look at that. Right here, we're already at November 23. Imagine you come back down, and then 2024, we start the new bear or bull cycle, which is very, very, very possible. A lot of people saw what happened in 2018, 2019 after the 2016-17 crash. We did something like this. We were consolidating, and then we just took off after COVID, or when COVID started. We just absolutely took off. Interest rate went down, and we know for the future, guys, we know that when interest rate goes down, that's when the whole financial market starts to pump. People borrow more money. There's more money cycling in the economy. And that's essentially, what it is. So this is why we saw the big boom right here, I believe. This was in 2020, 2021. The Bitcoin, let's go back to Bitcoin right here. It was right here approximately, 2020, March 2020. This is when we saw the big, massive boom. But going back to Solana, okay? So assuming you put $1,000, in my opinion, that's very doable. I don't know where you guys work or what you guys do. Some people can afford to put more, but assuming you put, let's say $2,500, like I said, it depends what you guys do. I know a lot of people, they make $20,000 a month, $15,000. I don't know if you guys work in tech, or in sales or whatnot. But for the future, guys, you guys can work no degree, B2B sales, account executive, or SDR. You guys don't need any crazy experience, or you don't need any crazy degree. So that's about that, and you can make a lot of money. You can make salaries go between $4,000 to $10,000 depending on your position, but assuming it's $2,500 right here, you're accumulating every month. Like I said, dividing by 18, that's 138 times 15 months. That's 2,083 Solanas if you manage to accumulate that many Solanas in the next 15 months. And then you do this times 950 to be realistic. That's almost $2 million from a nothing investment. I don't want to say nothing, but we could do 2,500 times 15. $2 million from $37,000. I mean, it seems a lot now, but of course, that's why you don't put everything now. It takes time to accumulate. And that's it. If you do this throughout the bear market, you're most likely going to be rich. It doesn't matter if it's on Solana or any other coin. Of course, it has to be a good coin, and it can be a scam coin. It can be a low top 2,000 coin, and that's about it. But it's we're gonna have to see, guys. I mean, there's a lot of problems that Solana is having right now. Market cap is a little bit quite high, but it could still 28x from here in 2024, in my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, guys. Always do your own research and due diligence. We do have 2 million people on the watch list, which is fantastic. Solana is one of the most used ecosystems out there, so we're gonna have to see how that plays out in 2024. If you guys like this video, of course, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.